Hey, it didn't count me down again. This is so weird. I'm not used to this. It's been forever since I've been on here. So I had a few minutes before Vance gets home, so I thought I would jump on and do a little, just have a little chat with you, I guess, because there's been this whole consistency thing keeps being thrown in my face lately. When I say thrown in my face, it means everything I listen to and everything I watch talks about being consistent. And so it's kind of hit me where, am I really truly consistent? That's what I don't know. Hey, Callie, how are you? So we're talking about being consistent. Do you feel like you're consistent in general? Because I think you can apply this to so many different things. You can we're going to apply it to the business today when we talk about it. But, like I would like to lose weight, sort of. I don't know if I really want to bad enough to actually work at it that hard. But, if I'm honest. But when you want to lose weight, what do you have to do? You have to be consistent with what you need to do. You have to be consistent with watching what you're eating. And you have to be consistent with, exercise and consistent with those things. So no matter what you want to do, you have to be consistent. I tell my students all the time, because I teach reading intervention and my kids struggle with reading. And I tell them all the time, if you read a little bit every day, you're going to get better. It's about consistency, reading all the time. So how consistent are you in your business? Really, I want you to think about it really. This is, like I said, this has been hitting me up one side and on the other. So I think it's something that I really need to focus on and really need to work on, is being more consistent. I have a tendency to maybe just get motivated, whatever the reason. Maybe it's because they announced that we can earn a cruise, or maybe it's because I just, I have extra bills to pay and I'm like, okay, enough of this. I'm tired of this. I'm going to just work my butt off, and I'll go and I will contact 50 people. I'll send out 100 emails. I will go buck wild, and then I don't do anything for like 2 weeks, and I just let it sit there. Now, do those 100 emails and 50 phone calls pay off? Absolutely, they do. But then once they've paid off what they're going to pay off, everything stops. Because I wasn't consistent, to where if I would keep doing things regularly, I would constantly have that turnover and reap those benefits. You see what I'm saying? Like, if I would honestly think I would be better off rather than killing myself for a day. And not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, if you've got extra time, if your schedule's like mine and you're just kind of crazy, I mean, we all lead busy lives. So if life is just crazy and you have an afternoon, pack in what you can pack in. Absolutely. The problem is the putting it down for 2 weeks and not doing anything. So if you have a day where you can just go nuts and get all your brochures out, by God, do it. Okay. But that doesn't mean take the next week off, because that's not helping your business. There's two reasons. One thing is, like I was just saying, you're going to reap the benefits of that big burst of energy, but it's going to be short-lived, and then it's going to stop. And then you're going to get frustrated, and you're not going to want to keep going. And the other reason is because you're building habits. This business is all about habits. Getting into the habit of talking to 5 people a day, handing out 5 brochures a day, following up with even one person a day. I mean, it doesn't matter as long as you're doing something consistently. So I'm going to challenge you to become more consistent. If you think you're good at consistency, tell me your tricks. I would love to hear them, because I could use some tricks. Okay. Because I'm not, I try to be consistent. I do work my business every day. I just don't do everything that I could do every day. Life gets in the way. We all know that happens. That's okay too. Life can get in the way. That's the beautiful thing about this job. We can take a pause, but there's a difference between life getting in the way and just getting lazy and just, I don't feel like doing anything. You know what I mean? Because honestly, especially with this kind of job, I don't care what it is you're so busy doing. You can take a brochure with you. Your cell phone's with you. You can follow up when you have 2 minutes of waiting time. Honestly, as busy as we are, there's still idle time in between there, and we have no excuse, because in 2017, we have our computers in our pockets all day long. So it's not like we can't pick up the phone and call, or pick up, jump on social media and post something, or, shoot out a text and say, hey, how did you like your products that you got from me last campaign, right? So it's kind of a lousy excuse to say, I'm just so busy, I just couldn't fit it in. It's really kind of a cop-out. And I do it. So I'm not pointing fingers or anything like that. I'm totally saying, this is me. This is my issue, okay? Because I have a total tendency to do that. So, challenge for you all. I know if you're doing my coaching program right now, you have challenges anyway. I want to double up your challenges because you are stretching yourselves, right? So I want to challenge you to be consistent. And I don't care what you're consistent in. I want you to be consistent in your business. So pick something business-wise, but what it is entirely up to you. You decide what you want to be consistent in, and you pick something and you do it every single day for the next 21 days, okay? Because they say 21 days makes a habit, supposedly. We're going to find out. We're going to put that to the test. Is that true? So pick something that you feel like you can do and that will better your business for the next 21 days. What is it going to be? How do you pick that? You got a couple of options, okay? And I'll tell you where I lean, but I'm going to tell you there's two different ways you can look at this. You can sit back and you can look at what you really need to work on. And you can say, okay, I know I don't do this, so I just need to start doing this every day for the next 21 days. Maybe it's follow-up. Follow-up's tough for most of us. So maybe you just have to say, I am going to get on the phone every single day. I'm going to block off 15 minutes and I'm going to call 5 people and just say, hey, have you had a chance to look at the brochure that I left you? Or, hey, I just want to call and see how you liked the lotion that you ordered last campaign. And just connect and follow up and see what happens. Maybe you're not very consistent about asking about the A box. So maybe every day you contact one person and say, hey, did you know for $40 individually? I'm not talking about posting in general. I'm talking about talking to individual people. Whether you text it, whether you private message it, whether you email it, whether you call people, whether you talk to people face to face, do what you want to do. And maybe you say just, hey, did you know about this e-box? Did you know that you're only, $12 away from getting this A-box for $10? Just a couple of shampoos and a deodorant would take care of that, whatever it would be. I'm just throwing some things out there. So maybe you want to do that. Maybe you are just not good at getting your brochures out. Maybe your brochures sit there until they get so old, you end up tossing them, which you shouldn't do. But maybe you do. Maybe they sit there and get old and you go, I never even handed those out. That's awesome. So maybe you make it your goal to hand out an extra 5 brochures every day somewhere. Or you take those old brochures and you say, I'm going to get rid of 5 of these old brochures every day, because those old brochures, you shouldn't throw them away, right? So you take them and you hang them on the little purse hook in the bathroom when you go to McDonald's or Meijer or Walmart or wherever. And you put them in those little clear bags and you hang them in there. Or maybe you leave them on a, on a bench somewhere, or in a newspaper rack somewhere, or on a newspaper, where they buy the newspapers. What's that called? Newspaper machine? I don't know. Be creative. I think what I think would be a cool challenge is you leave your brochures, your old brochures somewhere, and take a picture of where you left it. I want to see who's the most creative about where to leave your old brochures. I will hook you up with an awesome prize if you do that. I will hook you up with an awesome prize, something brand new out of the Christmas book. I have some things extra that I want to give away, or I'll give you your choice of an A-box if you'd rather have an A-box. Yeah, whoever has the most creative spot that they leave a brochure, I've got something awesome for you. Awesome. Okay. And I don't care if I have to ship it out. I want to see where you're leaving these. Okay. But maybe that's not your thing. I mean, still do that, but maybe that's not your challenge. Maybe that's not, whatever, what your weakness is. Where do you think you lack? Where's your weakness? Maybe it's about talking to people about starting the business. So maybe you say, I'm going to call one person a day or message one person a day that I think could really use this opportunity. They could use the extra money. They could use the friendships that are involved. They could use something to do to keep them busy. They could, they spend enough money, they ought to get a discount on their products. Maybe that's it. So you could find your weakest area and you could challenge yourself to do that for 21 days. And that would be a great thing to do. But you could also do the opposite end of that spectrum. And you could say, you know what I'm really good at? I'm really good at this. And I do this about this many times a day. So I'm going to double it. And I'm going to be consistent, and I'm going to double it. Or maybe you're not consistent at it, you're just good at it. And you're just going to start doing it every single day. So maybe you're really good at sparking conversations with complete strangers, and you make great new customers that way. I'm pretty good at that. I have to admit, I'm pretty good at talking to a complete stranger. Like, I can stand in line at Wendy's and I have a new friend by the time I leave there. You know what I mean? I love long lines. I always get in long lines just so I can make new friends. I'm really good at that. So that is a strength for me. However, I don't do it very often because I'm always in a stinking hurry. So I find the shortest line so I can get through and go home. Well, so maybe that's my challenge. Every day, wherever I'm at, I find the longest line and I challenge myself to make a new friend every single day that I can introduce the products. I mean, because it always turns to Avon because I make it do that. Okay. I've learned how to do that. I've trained myself to do that. So it's just a matter of making sure I take the time and I do that. So maybe that's it. What is your strength? Maybe your strength is social media. Maybe you're just really good. You get most of your business through social media and you're really good that way. So maybe you challenge yourself to every day you post something, you don't go to bed until you have a post that has X amount of likes or this many comments or that gets 5 orders. You consistently start posting things that are, intriguing to people, that they want to, that they're engaging in. Maybe your challenge, maybe it has nothing to do with your best or your worst, and maybe it's just something you should do. Maybe you haven't jumped on Avon U yet. So maybe you take 15 minutes a day and you consistently get that training in. That would be really good. Y'all know if you get all the training in that you can right now, that's how you get an entry to win that Mini Cooper, right? And if you've earned entries to the Mini Cooper, but you don't do that and you didn't go to a Drive Like a Boss seminar, those entries aren't going to count for you. So you need to, I know there's a few of us that went to Drive Like a Boss, but there's a lot of you out there that didn't. And that's okay. But now you need to get on Avon U and start taking those classes. And I will tell you, they're awesome and they're short. So something that says this will take you about 20 minutes, it has yet to take me 20 minutes. I don't know, maybe I'm just speeding through it too fast, but take some time, take 20 minutes a day and do that. Here's another thing. I had a friend contact me who used to sell Avon under my mom when she sold, and she called me and asked me for a new brochure, and she said, I think I might be interested in selling again too. So I drove out to come see today because I got out of work early and dropped her off new brochures and some information about the kits and like that. And I'm driving. I don't drive very often because I walk to work. But I'm driving past all these businesses. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I should stop here and I should stop there. But I didn't have time. I had to get back to get my kid from school. So I couldn't stop. And I'm like, oh, this is so frustrating because there's so many businesses that between here, Adrian, and Tecumseh that I ought to be stopped in and books ought to be dropped off, especially right now at Christmas time. So there's another challenge. So maybe you wake up 15 minutes early or you leave 15 minutes early for work or give yourself 15 minutes extra time to get home. And every day on your way to or from work or both, you stop at a new business and just say, hey, I'm Stacy. I'm with Avon. Here's some brochures for you. If you need anything, just give me a call. Thanks. Have a great day. See you later. That's simple, right? So pick something. Pick something, be consistent, try to do it every day for the next 21 days. What are you going to do? I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet, so I'll share with you when I decide, but I'm going to start being consistent. How are you going to be consistent? And I want to see where the freakiest places for your brochures are, okay? So post them, all right? See you later.